audition.
Dad said he'd rather I become a beautician, but we can't help it. We just have to his way. 'Cause it sure beats working for a living. It ain't much for living these days. It sure beats working for a living. We're just happy this way.
Okay, back to work. This is the end of you, Dippy Duck.
Skip, save me! Skip, help me! Help me!
If you don't pull this off, you'll never work in this town again. You'll never work anywhere again.
Operator, I'd like to place a collect call to Duluth, Minnesota.
Oh, Lord, somebody died.
What?
When the phone rings in the middle of the night, someone's either dead or seriously hurt.
Hello? Oh, yes. Sure, I'll accept. Hello, Skipper.
How bad is he?
Sorry I'm calling so late, Dad, but things have been happening so fast since I arrived, I forgot to call.
Skip, what's wrong?
Remember Mr. Winkler? He sent me the letter and was going to hire me. Well, when I got here, he had died.
Died?
I knew somebody died.
Well, look, Skip, don't worry about it. I didn't give away your old job at the drugstore yet. I'll just send you enough money to get home.
Dad, I don't want to come home. They gave me a job in sort of a funny room here.
Where's here?
The Duck Factory.
The duck what?
Factory, that's what they call it. It's the studio where they produce the Dippy Duck show.
Well, Skipper, if you got a job in a room, what's the problem?
Well, it's just that yesterday the network called, and they were going to cancel Dippy Duck. Somebody handed me the phone, and before I knew it, I'd promised that we were going to come up with all these great new ideas by tomorrow.
What in the world possessed you to do that?
Well, they seem to be counting on me.
Skip, these people at the Goose Ranch have been doing this before you got there, and they're going to continue to do it long after you've gone.
Well, I guess they will.
Well, of course they will. You got them out of a jam. Fine. Now just stay in the background, listen and learn. That's all that's expected of you.
Thanks. I guess if I were home, you'd make me a hot cup of cocoa to help me get back to sleep.
I'm sure there must be some place in a city the size of Los Angeles where you can get a nice hot cup of cocoa.
What's your pleasure, amigo?
I don't suppose you have any cocoa.
Fresh out.
I'll just have a cup of that with cream and sugar.
Bourbon with cream and sugar?
Oh, do you have anything hot?
Everything's hot. The icebox is busted. What'll it be?
I don't know.
Beer?
Sure. As long as it's hot.
Don't worry.
I just started working next door at the Duck Factory.
Welcome to Pancho's.
Skip Tarkenton.
Pancho. Yeah, I know. It was the name of the place when I bought it. I figured it'd be simpler to change my name than change the sign. I was wrong. Nah, that's okay. If you work at the Duck Factory, you're welcome to run a tab here. Fact is, if you work at the Duck Factory, you'll have to run a tab here. Like Brooks and Marty over there.
Excuse me. Hiya, fellas.
Hi. Hey, Scoot.
Skip.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was in the ballpark. Hey, grab yourself a tush full of Naugahyde.
So, did you guys come up with any big changes for the show?
Well, I had a couple of thoughts.
Oh, that's great. I'd sure hate to go to that network meeting without something really good. So what have you got?
Well, I always thought Dippy's eyes could be blue.
That's it?
Brown? I'm sorry, it's been a long time since I had to do any actual thinking.
What do you mean?
Buddy hated for us to think. He said too much thinking led to the Bolshevik Revolution.
We didn't want you to think. How did you do the show every week?
Buddy always did our thinking for us.
Stop by my desk, he'd say, Marty, give me 5 pages of Dippy in a dungeon, and I'd pound out 5 pages of Sacco stuff just like that.
No kidding.
I'll show you. Give me a subject.
Me?
No, Buddy. Of course you.
Well, there was something that I was thinking of when I was trying to sleep earlier. The Wizard of Oz kept running through my head.
Wizard of Oz, tornadoes, tin guys, yellow bricks, munchkins. I'll give you some munchkin material that'll knock your socks off.
Munchkins? No, I wasn't actually thinking of
Munchkins, midgets. Air Bay Villachets. Nah, you don't want to kick a guy when he's down. On the other hand, how can you tell when he's down? Wait a minute, that's good. That's funny.
Well, this is great, sitting here being part of this.
It must be wonderful to be your age. You remind me of myself when I first got to this town. Eager, talented, full of juice, ready to set Hollywood on its ear. Everybody has such great expectations of me. I couldn't handle the pressure. I ran away from responsibility. Don't let that happen to you, son.
I won't.
Well, I'll just be a minute.
Andrea!
Relax, I think I was shaving before. I'm looking for the jungle sound effects tape. Buddy borrowed it the day before he died.
Why would you have jungle sound effects in here?
Some things are better left a mystery. Ah, here it is. So, how'd you sleep in Buddy's boom boom room?
Not too well, to tell you the truth.
Well, I can see why. Geez, I'd hate to get caught in here in a riptide.
It wasn't the bed. I just had so much on my mind. I'm really anxious about that network meeting.
Well, don't worry about it. For years, we've all known we could get canceled at any time. It's just one of those things we live with around here. We're used to it.
I'm not. I've loved Dippy Duck ever since I was a kid. I feel like he's a friend, a member of my family.
Really? Which side?
Excuse me. We met the other day?
What's your husband's funeral? Of course, Mrs. Winkler. How could I forget?
Still deep in mourning, I see. Gotta get back to work.
Are those the jungle sounds?
Yeah.
Buddy played those for me on our wedding night.
Yeah, well, we all miss him.
Listen, I just dropped by to pick up Buddy's mail, and everybody's talking about how you have all these wonderful ideas for saving the show.
No, really?
Oh, I can't tell you how grateful I am. I've been worried sick about how a person like me with hardly any show business experience, except for that topless stuff in Vegas, and that weak as Miss Dodge Ram truck, was going to step in and try to fill Buddy's shoes.
I'm not too comfortable about it myself.
Don't be silly. You look like a born leader.
I think it would be really presumptuous of me, since I just barely got here, to expect a bunch of people, all of whom have tons more experience, some of whom are almost legendary, to put themselves in my hands.
Well, who's going to be in charge then?
I sort of figured it would be Aggie. After all, she has the experience, the know-how, the leadership qualities. Everyone seems to respect her.
Forget it, Aggie. I'm not doing it.
Punch it out, punch your lights out.
Go ahead and try it, axe face.
I won't do it either. It's demeaning. I'm an artist.
Artist! Oh, just because you can talk like poultry.
Punch the time clock.
You got it.
Hey, what's going on in here?
They won't punch in.
No, it's the principle of the thing. I've worked here for 12 years, and all of a sudden she puts on a time clock, and we're supposed to punch in. What are we, factory workers?
Isn't anybody going to answer the phone? Buddy Winkler Productions.
Morning, all.
Brooks did it.
Did what?
Punched in.
Why wouldn't I? I've been doing it for years. She just put the machine in today. She did?
That was Mr. Roth's office at the network. He has to go to Hawaii, so he wants us to move the meeting to tomorrow.
Folks, that gives us 2 days less to work on the changes.
Let's hop to it.
What's the plan, Skip?
What's the plan, Skip?
Listen, everybody, I mean, I just got here. I think it would be a little presumptuous of me to...
Well, it certainly would. May I remind you that this boy arrived on the scene only a few days ago? You didn't know anything about him. Now, I, on the other hand, worked cheek to jowl with Buddy Winkler for 10 years. I know the business, this company, and all of you. That's different. Think for a moment. Would you put your fate in the hands of someone with experience, savvy, and a certain animal cunning? Or someone with a nice head of hair and a lot of teeth?
Let's vote.
Vote?
How many for savvy and cunning?
I believe that's 1.
How many for hair and teeth?
Looks like the teeth have it.
I demand a recount!
Lower the drawbridge!
You got it.
Do something!
You got it.
This is great stuff.
If it's so great, how come they canceled it?
Who knows? Those bark brains canceled my mother the car in its prime.
Well, the point is they did, and if we want to turn it around, we're going to have to make some changes. Guys, I'm afraid we're going to have to do something drastic here.
Drastic. My doctor told me to avoid anything drastic. And shrimp.
Don't let me disturb you. Just taking inventory.
What for?
For when we go into receivership. Just want to get a jump on it.
I appreciate the vote of confidence.
There is a lot of that going around.
Well, has our fabulously creative team come up with anything?
We're kicking a few things around.
We got a couple of notions germinating.
In other words, what you have got is nothing. Zilch, bupkis, nada. Buddy would have thought of something.
Roland, what's this?
It's just a drawing I did of Sir Thanks-a-Lot. We always sort of thought he and Buddy had a lot in common.
Yeah, a couple of big, arrogant jerks nobody liked, but everybody depended on.
You ungrateful scum! That is blasphemous! Give me it.
Aggie, wait! I just got an idea.
So do I.
Oh, for the show!